Raise the arms that reach the...
Campaigned against George McGovern rather than against you. Do you feel that the
commissioner up here, I'm going to do something about it?
In South Alabama, we're fixing to swing to North Alabama. We're fixing to...
I think we're going to win on November the 7th.
We have a great Republican team from time. I am proud to be running with all...
TV News with a blunt campaign in Selma.
And it's always exciting to be in on the start of something new.
565, Hal.
We're hoping because of the perplexities in this year's election, national election, and the situation as it exists in Alabama.
I have to decide, and I don't want to inject myself into it.
Well, all of us are so happy that...
That's right. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Nice to meet you. Glad to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Same to you. Appreciate all this good thing done.
Hi, buddy. How you doing?
Fine, I've enjoyed this too.
How y'all doing?
And I'm pleased to say they've always been very good to me. And naturally, I want to get in and touch base with them here in the closing days of the campaign. I haven't been able to spend sufficient time up there in the earlier part of the campaign.
Your opponent has tied you on numerous occasions with, as he calls it, the Sparkman-McGovern team.
He has tried to do that. If you'll talk to the people out over the states, you'll find out he hasn't succeeded very well. And a great many people have resented it. And I've had people tell me I intended to support him. But I'm disgusted with what he's been trying to do.
You ran for the vice presidency with Adlai Stevenson. How do you compare the Democratic presidential candidate with Mr. Stevenson?
Oh, I don't think there's any comparison. Governor Stevenson was a man of intense ability, great mental ability. He was a man who thought deeply. And he didn't go off after any of these crazy ideas. He believed in substantial, hard rock government. He had sound ideas. He was a statesman of the first water. I admired him greatly.
Labor has come out strong in favor of Senator John Sparkman. Indications here at this steel plant are that he will continue to gain blue-collar support, as most here feel that the senator is doing that which is best for Alabama. George Mitchell, WSFA TV News, with the Sparkman campaign in Etowah County.
I think to have a team in the top 20, you've got to avoid losses. And when you achieve balance in the conference, such as we have, where each night out, if you don't play the best you can play, you're going to get beat, then it hurts your national rating. But at the same time, I think our overall league is stronger. Now, we don't have right now the really outstanding basketball team, the team UCLA or Marquette, this type ball club with this type record, and part of the reason is that we've been knocking each other off in our own backyards, in our own league. But I still feel that our conference overall is stronger, and I think as a result we're going to produce stronger teams going into national competition than we have, say, in the last 4 or 5 years, where one team's dominated it and then goes into national competition and really doesn't get the job done.
Many comments were made that it was the coach's responsibility, that he coached his players to become animals just ready to do anything to win. How do you feel the coach's influence affects the players?
Well, I think the coach has a tremendous influence on the players in terms, and I don't know that situation, but I know in our situation, obviously, if we're continually harassing opponents or off the bench all the time or inciting our players, we could very easily incite our fans. We don't take this approach. We think that while basketball is an emotional game, it's a game where you have to control emotions in order to be successful. And I think the coach has a definite responsibility in this area to let his players know what he expects, how he wants to approach it, and we've got to do something in this whole area of crowd control and in this whole area of controlling this type of thing, or we're going to ruin basketball. I don't think that an isolated instance such as the Minnesota-Ohio State thing, should bring any great cause for alarm at this point. But we do see some problems in crowd control, and we've all got a responsibility. The coaches, players, the news media, athletic administrators, the students, the fans in general.
The NCAA is meeting when their tournament comes up, and there have been a lot of talk about rule changes. Many people say the players have just gotten too big for the court, and tactics to eliminate the stalling game. What rule changes do you see that would really be desirable to improve the game of basketball?
Well, I see two that would help. The 30-second clock would help. We played under international rules here against the Polish Olympic team, and played with the 30-second clock, and I was interested to see, so I asked a manager what effect it would have. I asked a manager to keep a record of time, and neither team held the ball past 23 seconds. I think this is one rule that would definitely help because it'd take all the counting out of the game. The other that I would like to see come back in the game is the dunk. The offensive basket interference off the goaltending call is such a tough judgment call, and I think dunking is an exciting part of basketball. I wouldn't be in favor of raising the baskets. We have enough trouble shooting them at 10 feet, much less going to 12, and I really don't think that would solve that much. But I think those two rules would help take some of the pressure off the officials, and therefore would make it a better basketball game.
Well, I can guarantee anybody who feels that this would be the case that will not be the case, because I'm not going to allow this office, the operation of the office insofar as the fiscal operation of this office, to interfere at all with any special session that's called for any purpose. And I would discourage any people in the legislature who might want to do this. I would discourage that and would hopefully be able to stop it before it starts, because it's time to put personalities aside when you have problems such as a mental health situation, and I would hope the governor's office would do this. Certainly I plan to, and I think we all need to work together toward solving the problems of mental health rather than trying to worry about parking places and little silly childish games that might have been played in the past by some people.
Well, I have known for some time that big banking interests throughout the entire United States, not only in New York, would funnel hundreds of thousands of dollars to Sparkman's campaign. Sparkman serves their purposes, you know, on the Banking and Currency Committee, and they're afraid that if it gets in other hands, they might lower the interest rates to the farmers and the small business people. And obviously, I'm up against the fact that both of my opponents have got millions of dollars backing them. About all I've got is the people. And I've known this from the very beginning, and I knew Sparkman was going to get all kinds of money. I read about it and studied it, but it doesn't frighten me in the slightest. Well, now, let's take this for a minute. Now, Sparkman's going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to beat me in November. But he's going to be under the Humphrey, Muskie, McGovern, Kennedy type ticket. I frankly think it's going to be Humphrey again. And I'm going to be under the Nixon ticket. I don't know what's going to happen to Governor Wallace. I think he's doing a great job in the Democrat primaries, and I'm enjoying it like everybody else. But in the November race, if it's just a Sparkman and a Humphrey and a Martin and a Nixon, we'll beat that Humphrey-Sparkman ticket. I don't care how many millions of dollars these northern bankers pour down in Sparkman's till.
Buses is the issue. He has constantly hammered at it. It should be pointed out that Wallace was the first politician to make a big issue out of the busing ruling, and he has successfully maneuvered his position, or his opposition to busing, into the political issue of this primary in Florida.
Rockefellers and the Fords and in my own state, I said in the beginning that we had 84 little black children and 7 little white children that were bused 48 miles one way in the morning and 48 miles back, 96. And the Newsweek man went down and rode the bus with the little children going to sleep, getting on before dark, and he said, you were wrong, it was 56 miles. Some of them have to go one way, and 56 miles back. 33 one way and 33 back, and 21 way and 20 back, across the city, backwards and forwards to kingdom come. And 50 years from now, the American people will look back and say how callous were those in our government to bus little children and trifle with their health and safety as they've done in the year 1972. My friend, have put us to the point where we are and are saying about the same things that I've been saying a long time. So I want you to send this message back to the National Democratic Party that they had better think about the income tax that today is grinding, as I said a moment ago, the middle class in our country almost into virtual non-existence. Yes, the issue of taxes has now been taken.
Other candidates have brought in movie stars and other famous politicians in an effort to draw attention to their bid for votes. Not George Wallace. He's using the star-attention getter of them all in the whole United States, and that is the busing of school children. To top it off, not only is Wallace campaigning on the issue, but voters will cast their ballots for or against a referendum on busing here in Florida. Norman Lumpkin, WSFA TV News, with the Wallace campaign in Orlando, Florida.
And I want to tell you again how much I appreciate you being out here with us today. And it's real nice to be with you, and we want you. And I want to promise to you that when I get to Congress, I'm going to look after Fort Rucker. I'm going to give it 110%, as Bear Bryant says, and Coach Jordan over at Auburn, we're going to really get in there and mix it up. And I promise you that I'm going to give you all the support you need in Congress to help maintain our national defense system, and in particular Fort Rucker. Judge Adams, I certainly want to appreciate you being here, and we certainly want to promise to you that I'm going to look after Fort Rucker when I go to Washington. We certainly do appreciate both of you being here at our opening today.
You know, they say they're going to talk about busing. They're waiting to see what you're going to do, mainly on the candidacy of George Wallace, because the biggest joke that you can give the busing folks and those in our government is to vote for George Wallace. Now, I want to tell you... there was an amendment in the Senate of the United States to prohibit the busing of little children to achieve racial balance. All 6 of these United States senators voted against the amendment or announced against it, which meant they were in favor of busing. And now some of them tell you they are against busing. As my United States Senator Allen says, I only wish they had been with us against busing when we needed them, and they hadn't gone to Florida. They had found out before they went to Florida and could have stopped busing. So when they get on the television and tell you they are against busing, I tell you categorically, and no one can dispute it, no newspaper, no television, that they all voted for busing or announced in favor of it in the congressional record. And there it is right there. Now, my friend,